All right, guys, as promised, here's some more information about habits. So, yesterday I posted that habits are on a loop, and this loop consists of a cue or some sort of trigger, a response or the action, the actual habit that you do, and then a reward that comes with that behavior. And so, also, like I said yesterday, it's really hard to break a bad habit. You're better off creating good habits, and then that kind of gets replaced at some point after you create so many new habits. Um, and so, although this isn't super scientific, it is really interesting to think about how our minds work and how our behavior is driven by certain cues. And so, I'd like to go over the cues that we typically have to do these behaviors with. And when you're trying to build a good habit, these are things that you want to think about. So, if you've thought about your good habit that you'd like to adopt, then you might want to think about using one of these 5 cues to help you implement that good habit. So, the first one is time, and time is kind of like the easiest one. So, if you're trying to create a new habit, then you could say at this specific time during the day, I'm going to do this. And time is like just so familiar because when we get up in the mornings, it's like, okay, we got to brush our teeth, we got to get ready for work, we got to go to work. As far as like leaving work, there's usually, for the most of us anyways, a certain time. When we eat food or things like that, time is associated with habits big time. So if there is a particular good habit that you want to adopt, then you might want to associate a time with it. You can even set an alarm on your phone. That way there's an actual trigger there for the time. And then every time that alarm goes off, then you would do the action and then get that reward. And once you get that reward, then it'll make you want to do it over and over again. So that's the first cue or trigger. The second one is location. And location is really tied to habits in a strong way because our minds have basically already associated locations with what we're supposed to do in that location. So, for example, when we're in the kitchen, there's food there, and so our minds already put us in that state of, okay, I need to eat here. Or if we go into the living room, okay, you're going to sit down and watch TV. That's the habit that you have, and that's the habit that's tied to that location. So, this one is really hard to break, the bad habits. And so, what you have to do is think about, okay, what good habit do I want to do in this specific location? And every time you go to that location, it's kind of like retraining your brain to do that habit. So, for example, one of the things, if you want to start working out, one of the best things about location and habits is that when you are in a brand new location, it's so much easier to create a good habit in that new location because your brain doesn't already associate any habits with that place in particular. So that's something you might want to think about. So the next trigger is a preceding event. So what do I mean by preceding event? So you want to try to attach the new behavior that you want to create with something that already happens, an already good habit that you have. So this is called habit stacking, and I've done a little bit of reading about this. And it's kind of like you're creating new habits on top of new good habits. And you have to think about, okay, what good habits do I already have that are pretty solid? Like every day I do these. And then what can I attach to it? So if your goal is to, do like a meditation every morning, then when you do something that day, then you have to also attach that meditation or whatever it is to that habit. And so it's a little bit linked to time because it's during a certain event. So just think about those things that you do every single day. Or this was a fun example. There was one that it said, when every time your phone buzzes and you get a Facebook notification or something, then you attach some sort of habit with that. So this one's kind of neat. So you could try habit stacking if you wanted to. So the next one is your emotions. The thing with emotional cues or triggers is that you have to be very aware of what's going on inside of your mind or your body, how you're feeling emotionally at all points during the day. So, a lot of times when we are stressed or sad or angry, we have an emotional cue there, and then we go into a bad behavior, and then we get that reward that makes us feel better. So, if you are super aware of how you're feeling in that moment, and you can really understand why you're being in this emotional state, then you can probably attach a good habit to that or a good behavior and then get a better reward. I think this is probably really hard to do. One of the examples that is used over and over again is the deep breathing. So if you're feeling stressed, and typically your behavior when you feel stressed is to eat or, to cry or whatever it is, and then you get that reward, you could try, when you know you're stressed and you're feeling tension, being aware of that, you could do some deep breathing instead and then get that reward of feeling calm. And so that's kind of breaking a bad habit, and that might not be the best example there. But if you're very in tune with your emotions, then you could definitely attach a new good behavior that you want to adopt if you're in tune with your emotions. So the last trigger is other people. And you have heard the phrase birds of a feather, I'm sure. So if you are hanging around people who are not healthy, then it's likely that you're not going to be healthy. Or if you're hanging around people who are doing things that you don't necessarily want to be associated with, it doesn't matter. You're still going to fall into those habits that those people have as well. So if you're trying to create a new healthy habit, like if you want to work out, then hang around people who do work out or who are interested in working out, and you can learn and grow together and you get that reward. If you're interested in, learning how to cook better meals or healthier meals, then go seek that out. Like, go find people who do those things and ask questions and then reap the benefits of that. So anyways, those are the 5 cues. And when you pick those triggers to associate your new habit with that you want to implement in your life, make sure that it's specific. That's one of the suggestions that a lot of these people say is like, make sure that anything that you do when you're trying to create a healthy lifestyle is very specific. And it kind of goes back to those SMART goals where, you're going to write everything out so you don't miss anything, so that you're not failing over and over again and having to, adjust and then do it. So you want to be successful. So just try really hard to make it as specific as possible. So if you want to message me your habit, just to see like if I think that this habit is going to stick or work or whatever it is, I would absolutely look at that for you and I could help you through it. If you don't want to, that's cool, but do take this information into the new year, because I think adopting healthy habits is the best way to get rid of bad habits, and these things are what will help you create a healthy lifestyle. So I hope this was good information. I know it was a little bit long, it's maybe 10 minutes or so, but I appreciate you guys listening, and I'll see you in the next one.